Hello and welcome to Drama Recaps. Today we will delve into the 2016 American fantasy drama film named Collateral Beauty. Spoilers ahead. The story kicks off with Howard, Whit, Claire, and Simon gathering with their entire team. They're celebrating a fantastic year at their advertising firm. Howard passionately discusses three core truths of life: love, time, and death. He says these concepts drive how we spend money and are at the heart of their advertising strategies. Fast forward 3 years. A somber Howard sets off a domino effect and then exits the office. His friends and colleagues, Whit, Claire, and Simon notice his changed demeanor. His distance has cost the firm several significant accounts. The trio discuss a potential buyout opportunity at $17 per share. Howard, owning a majority 60% of the shares, is unwilling to part with them. Walking through the vibrant city, Whit and Claire open up. They share the heartbreaking reason behind Howard's detachment: the tragic loss of his young daughter 2 years prior. Furthermore, it's unveiled that Howard assisted Whit financially during his divorce by purchasing some of Whit's shares. Claire, amidst the company's turmoil, has personal challenges too. She's contemplating using a sperm donor to become a mom. Whit devises a plan. He suggests hiring a private detective to monitor Howard, hoping to demonstrate that Howard's mental state might be unfit for handling company decisions. Howard, it seems, is deeply lost in grief. He often daydreams about moments with his daughter, writes mysterious letters, and takes daring bike rides at night, almost as if wishing for a tragic end. The detective reveals to the trio that Howard's letters are addressed to the abstract concepts of love, time, and death. Despite being isolated, Claire attempts to support him, even offering to cover his overdue rent when he doesn't respond to her food deliveries. Whit, on the other hand, faces rejection from his daughter due to past mistakes. She's hurt and refuses to spend the holidays with him. In a brief encounter, Whit tries engaging Howard by inviting him to a basketball game and discussing the $17 share offer. But Howard, in his silent sorrow, declines both gestures. Whit converses with a woman, Amy, who is waiting for her audition for their next advertisement. She suggests important changes that spark a brilliant idea in Whit. As he goes to thank her, he follows her as she leaves, ending up at a small theater. Here, she is rehearsing a play with an older woman, Bridget, and a younger boy, Rafi. Charmed by their dedication, Whit offers to fund their play if Amy agrees to feature in their commercial. The offer is received with delight by Bridget. Inspired by a technique his Uber driver uses to connect with his Alzheimer's-afflicted mother, Whit proposes a plan to hire actors to impersonate love, time, and death, hoping to engage with Howard. All of this would be secretly filmed, and the actors edited out later to paint Howard as mentally unfit to manage the company's shares. Despite initial moral conflict, Claire decides to support the plan for the good of the company. Meeting with the earlier actors, they plan their arrangement. Bridget, due to her age, takes the role of death, Rafi that of time, and Amy embodies love. They resolve to act as though only chosen individuals can perceive them. Bridget chats with Simon, who suddenly starts coughing violently, hinting at underlying health issues. Rafi engages with Claire, whose thoughts are consumed with her desire to have a child. Amy speaks with Whit about how to approach Howard, emphasizing the significance of love. In the meantime, Howard approaches a place where people are sitting in a circle, talking. He observes from outside but decides not to enter. The next day, Bridget, impersonating death, encounters Howard in the dog park. She discusses Dog's understanding of death and alludes to receiving his letter. Howard, disturbed by the interaction, tries to distance himself. However, a passing child's remark reveals that he is the only one who can see her. Bridget later shares with Simon that she is sure Howard believed her act. Howard, making some progress, revisits the place he had been observing from outside. This time, he decides to step in, revealing it as a therapy group facilitated by a woman named Madeline. In a therapy session led by Madeline, she gently pushes Howard to open up about his daughter. Though he initially resists, Madeline's kindness persuades him to stay until the end. After the session, she confides in Howard about her own daughter, Olivia, who tragically passed away from a rare cancer at the tender age of 6. While Howard remains silent about his own loss, he admits he's trying to mend his mental state. Madeline encourages him to return. Meanwhile, Bridget, role-playing as Death, continues to engage with Simon. She's amused by how convincingly Howard believes in her character, but Simon is visibly distressed. Upon inquiry, he confesses to having multiple myeloma, a condition he battled twice before. Unfortunately, this time, the disease is terminal. Simon is reluctant to share this devastating news with his wife, especially since they've just welcomed a son. When Howard arrives at his office section, he's approached by Rafi, playing time. Rafi chides Howard about his stagnant life, stressing that time is a gift that he's neglecting. Before departing, Rafi disrupts Howard's meticulously set dominoes, leaving him more bewildered than ever. Later, while dining out, Howard is approached by Amy, representing love. Reciting Whit's words, she stresses the importance of embracing love. However, she becomes emotional, and Howard departs. Meeting with the group, Amy is riddled with guilt over deceiving Howard and declines to continue the ruse. Amidst this, Bridget urges Simon to inform his family of his condition, emphasizing their right to bid farewell. After another session, as Madeline is wrapping up, she and Howard engage in a deeper conversation. They discuss the commonality of couples drifting apart after losing a child. Madeline shares a poignant note from her husband, expressing a wish to be strangers again. Moving the conversation to Howard's office, he confides about his interactions with love, time, and death. Madeline, with a nurturing spirit, suggests he should respond if they return. In a more intimate setting, over dinner, Madeline recounts the heart-wrenching moments leading up to her daughter's passing. She speaks of a mysterious old woman who, during that harrowing time, urged her to recognize the collateral beauty in her daughter's demise. While this concept perplexed Madeline initially, she gradually found solace in the sentiment. Howard, however, struggles to find any beauty amidst such profound pain. Whit's desperation to get Amy back on board with their plan is palpable. He chases after her, but she is firm in her stance, no longer seduced by any of Whit's promises or monetary offers. Instead, she pushes him to reflect on the pure love he felt when his daughter was born, stating that if he truly prioritized that love, she would reconsider participating. Rafi, symbolizing time, aggravates Howard by intercepting his bike ride, which leads to Howard accusing time of robbing his daughter of her years. Bridget, as Death, approaches Howard in the subway, prompting an emotional outburst as he recounts the clichés people say to comfort those in mourning. None of these words of solace have meaning when his daughter isn't beside him. His next encounter is with Amy, embodying love, who tries to show him that love permeates every facet of life, even in pain. She reminds him that his cherished memories with his daughter were born out of love, but Howard, tormented by grief, views love as a betrayer. The pinnacle of the narrative arrives during a tense board meeting where Howard, with the aid of videos secretly recorded by the private investigator, is made to look mentally unfit to hold his company shares. To the astonishment of the board, Howard speaks lucidly and sincerely. To Claire, he offers words of encouragement about balancing professional achievements with personal desires. To Simon, he extends a promise of support and understanding. Whit is reminded of the precious bond he holds with his daughter and the intrinsic value of love and connection. In a surprising move, Howard willingly signs away his company shares but requests a second document he knows the lawyer possesses. The significance of this document is later revealed to Claire. It's an acknowledgement of his daughter's passing, and with it, he transfers shares set aside in a trust for her. The poignant moments don't end there. Simon, finally breaking his silence, confesses his terminal condition to his wife. Their embrace encapsulates the fears, love, and shared pain between them. Claire is seen browsing a website dedicated to sperm donors, contemplating her future choices. She soon closes the laptop, seemingly overwhelmed by her options. Later, she meets Rafi to settle his payment. During their exchange, he assures her of her potential to be a great mother. He emphasizes that parenthood isn't strictly bound to biology. Sharing his own experience, He mentions growing up without knowing his biological parents but still having figures that played a pivotal role in his upbringing. As their conversation winds down, Raffi hints at his unique perspective on time, suggesting he's more than just a regular human. Whit is depicted waiting outside his estranged daughter's school. Determined to rebuild their broken relationship, he approaches her. Despite her initial resistance, he promises to be there every day until she's ready to talk. As she walks away, she slyly informs him that the following day is a half-day, hinting at a potential reconciliation. Elsewhere, Simon seeks out Bridget to remunerate her for her acting services. He opens up about informing his wife of his ailment, only to find out she was already aware. Bridget, in a moment of compassion, advises him to face the inevitability of death with courage. The narrative then shifts to Howard, who visits Madeline's home. The walls, adorned with sketches by Madeline's daughter, bring forth painful memories. Madeline shows a cherished video of their daughter playing with her father, revealing a twist: Howard is the father, and they separated after their shared tragedy. The gravity of the revelation leads Howard to voice his daughter's name, Olivia, and the truth about her tragic end. The two find solace in each other's embrace, grieving their loss together. A flashback shows Madeline in a hospital, deeply affected by her daughter's situation. Beside her sits Bridget, who in this context, reveals her true nature as the embodiment of death. She offers words of comfort, urging Madeline to recognize the underlying beauty even in moments of despair. The story concludes with Howard and Madeline walking hand in hand in a serene park. As they traverse under a bridge, a glance upwards reveals Amy, Raffi, and Bridget, symbolizing love, time, and death, observing the couple. Yet, when Madeline looks back for a second glimpse, they vanish, leaving the pair to continue their journey.